Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome back to Jeff Lewis Obsessed, where I recap Jeff Lewis live every weekday at 12 o'clock California time, 2 o'clock Texas time, and 3 p.m. New York City time. Welcome back. I hope you're having an amazing day. If you are new, welcome. We do this every weekday. Get comfortable in comments. Tell us where you're from. We want to chat about Jeff Lewis, all the reality TV gossip, everything. We call each other our chumpettes because we are a Jeff Lewis Live community. Most of us have a raunchy sense of humor. We don't get really sensitive about shit. So just know that you can have opinions and we can respectfully disagree. Please make sure you're following me. If you are watching this live or on a replay, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, the follow button, the like button, and please make a comment as soon as you see this. Even if it's like, hi, love Jeff Lewis, anything simple. It really helps with my engagement. I really appreciate it. So thank you so much. Ooh, welcome from the wilds of New Jersey. I love that. Shout out. I see lots of OGs. I see lots of new faces. Shout out, everybody. Let's get started with Shout Out News, which is our reality TV gossip. So much going on. And let's get started. Just a reminder about one of our very own chumps who we all adore, Doug Buden. Tonight is Thursday. Every Thursday, most Thursdays, he's not traveling, he does an Instagram live. Tonight it is at Megan's house. Cross your fingers, y'all. I am manifesting. Ooh, shout out in Newport. I love that, Susan. I am manifesting a Megan bathtub with Brandy Howard and Julie Goldman, because they're going to be there also. I cannot wait. Check it out. Doug Buden, Budin. He is amazing. 5 o'clock California time. I don't remember what he's making, but I don't really watch for that. And honestly, I'm usually at Body Pump when the show starts. So I kind of go over there during breaks and stuff like that. And then I kind of watch in the sauna. So anyways, make sure to watch for that. Okay, Rick and Kelly show. I know this is kind of has opinions because y'all are like, some people love Kelly, some people don't. I don't mind her at all. Y'all, I'm a Jeff Lewis fan. So clearly have a super high tolerance for somebody to piss me off or whatever. I do respect that she has the balls to say what she wants. And I have to admit, I'm kind of enjoying her Real Housewives of OC recap, dare I say, more than Real Housewives of OC this season. Maybe the Trace Amigas are going to save the day, but so far, Vicky has not made it on the show yet. The Montana trip was, besides Taylor coming out as a bisexual, which I'm like, where the hell was this information a long time ago? I guess she had a relationship with a woman for 5 years. Anyways, whatevs. Other people are saying, yes, that you enjoy the Rick and Kelly recap more than the show. Yes, it's so boring. And I hate saying that because I love so many of them on there. Like I've met Shannon. Who else have I met? I met Gina. I've met Kelly Dodd, although she's not on OC anymore. Who else? I can't think of everybody. But anyways, I like them personally. And if you were not following Gina Kirschenhanger or whatever on TikTok, I reposted one of her videos. They're freaking hilarious right now. So check that out. I'm kind of digging it. I kind of hope it makes people like her even more, because I think she gets a bad rap for being kind of boring. And Kelly Dodd clearly can't stand the way Gina dresses. And I don't either. It's not my personal style some of the times, like all the little silver rhinestoney things and the big jewelry, not my thing. I've seen her dress better. But her latest TikToks are freaking hilarious. Okay, so also, Rick and Kelly answered one of my questions that I'd put in their YouTube comments. So anyway, shout out Rick and Kelly. I really did have a question about an update on this pickleball party town, because clearly I've been talking about this ever since they were building or remodeling this house and up for a Airbnb, because I was like, oh my God, y'all, wouldn't it be so much fun if a bunch of us pulled our money, because, we're not as rich as those people are, and rented out the Pickletown party ball house, whatever it's called. And then I realized it's freaking a 28-day minimum. Like, none of us can afford 28 days and don't have the time and energy to go out to Palm Desert for that. But anyways, but the whole thing is they've got this pickleball court, and I guess their neighbors were complaining about the sound. Somebody did let me know that pickleball is actually very loud, so their neighbors have a right to be complaining about it. But what I'm wondering is, whoever put in a pickleball court, how did they not know it was going to be loud? How did they not check the neighborhood, the HOA, the rules, whatever all that is going on? Because now they're having to put in a fence, which I can't imagine is going to block the noise too much, right? Anyway, so check out the Real Housewives of OC recap. It's got 4 of their VIP Patreon people on it. It's sort of, they're calling it like a people's couch, so a little homage to Brandy Howard and Julie Goldman for sure. It was cute. They give information, like, I like that Kelly's able to give information from her experience. So I didn't realize that even though Emily was barely on yesterday's episode because she ended up having COVID and couldn't go on this Montana dude ranch trip, which I don't know, she's still paid for that episode. So that's the kind of information I kind of like, that it kind of whatever. In other things, I must say, there's been a few times the last 2 or 3 episodes of Rick and Kelly that Rick says some stuff that seems to really irritate Kelly. I don't know. I totally notice it. I'm totally here for it. I've been married 23 years. I can see a kind of an irked wife when I know one. And like he'll say stuff about like, I like seeing you naked, or am I going to get some tonight? And she's like, yeah. I mean, so I'm totally here for it. Let me know in comments if you watch Rick and Kelly, if you are noticing those little subtle things also. I'm not saying anything about their marriage. I don't know a damn thing about their marriage. I'm just saying I like noticing all those little things too. Dolly Girl says, I'm getting irritated too from him. Also, I seem to notice like yesterday or was it today? Yesterday, when she said something about the Ryan Seacrest rumors, and he was like, yeah, I hear that stuff too. I just choose not to say it on our show. So I don't know. They were talking about shoes today, and they were kind of tiffing if he paid for some shoes in St. Bart's, or if he paid for some shoes, or she did. And I was like, maybe y'all need to figure this out before the show goes on the air. Anyways, I'm all here for it. I truly think she is TV gold, but then again, I am also a Brandy Glanville fan. I think she's also TV gold, so love it or leave it. I think there's a place. I also think there's a place for Teresa Giudice and her daughters on a spinoff show. And, unpopular opinion, but I'm just putting it out there. Speaking of spinoff shows, finally, is it official? Is Vanderpump Rules actually in talks, or did they finally admit that they are doing a spinoff show? So it looks like kind of the people that have graduated from SUR. It's going to be Stassi and her kid, Jackson, Brittany and their kid, Sheena and her kid, and Lala, apparently. I'm here for it. I mean, clearly, these people's jobs have now become being on social media, owning stuff, showing up to stuff, getting paid for events. And it is a job to be on a reality show. So a lot of these people wanted to be actors and models. This is their dream job, to be on a freaking reality show. So do they really have time to also work? No, I really don't. Oh, why'd you put her in here? Why'd you do that? You asshole. Take her. My son just put my dog in here, and I'm like, she'll be distracting to me. No, she'll get into Riley's stuff. Go on. Anyways, okay, what wouldn't work? M. Litherland. Give them a shot, I guess. Oh, you think the Rick and Kelly? Tell me which reality show. I don't know which one you're talking about. Oh, yeah. I mean, these people are like in their 40s now on Vanderpump Rules. I've been watching since day one, and they're getting on, and for sure. Susan says, Rick and Kelly haven't been on Jeff Lewis Live for a while. You're right, but you know what? They do go back and forth between their Palm Springs, whatever it is, their rental, their pickleball house, and the beach house thing in Newport. So it does sound like maybe this party that Kelly is hosting, maybe that's one of the things that Jeff Lewis and his huge thing of chumps are going to be at in Newport. They leave tomorrow, so I don't really know. Can you just imagine though? We'll talk about that in a second, but the Schwartz and Sadie thing for sure. Okay. One more thing. Croy is getting sued again. Big deal. I guess it's coming out that he can't pay his bills. Why isn't Kim also being sued? If you're married, like, why do they keep talking about him not paying the payments on this Range Rover? Was it a Range Rover? and him not paying the payments on things. I mean, they're married. I'm pretty sure they're going to get in trouble for both. I did hear that somebody said one of them has moved out. I can't imagine who it was and which one agreed to. I don't really know. It's a mess. I think Bravo and Cocktails did a poll on which divorce is the messiest, and it kind of reminded me of how many messy Bravo divorces there've been. I mean, a ton. Oh, some states are separate even if married. Okay, so maybe Georgia is one of those. I'm trying to wave at all of y'all on Instagram. Anyways, oh, bye, Robin. I'll see you on the replay for sure. Okay, well, let's get started because one of the things I want to talk about today's Jeff Lewis Live is Monica Casey and Zach Noe Towers. They're so good together. Like, I know that a lot of chumpettes had a while to fall in love with Zach Noe Towers. I fell in love with him immediately. I just think he's the cutest thing. If I were out there, I would definitely go see him live at a comedian show. I would love that. Speaking of, Channel 93 on Sirius XM, his after hour shows is every other Thursday. It is on tonight. Check out that. I made a story. And then Monica's has a podcast now with Tom Arnold called Divorce Party. So check that out. I made clips of those and put them on my Instagram story. So that's where you can get links to those. But one thing that they were talking about was, oh God, I was just going to talk about it. Julie's birthday party last night. So it sounds like their good friend Leah Black put this together, and she freaking had it at Schwartz and Sandy's. Oh my God, I would just die if I were just, first of all, I would love to go to Schwartz and Sandy's. Okay, I haven't been there yet. I don't know if it was, oh yeah. So last time I was in that area, last time I flew to LA, I was mostly in Newport with Irma and Emily and Katie. So seeing the Fortune Feimster show. So we didn't really get a chance to go to West Hollywood. We had lunch, but anyways, we didn't get to go to Schwartz and Sandy's. But can you imagine if you were eating there? It'd be so fun for one thing. I'm all for supporting Schwartz and Sandy's. It doesn't give me any hesitation to go to those places at all. And 7 chumps walked in, including Jeff fucking Lewis. Oh my God. I would just die. So what tells me is my account is so fucking teeny tiny. Nobody takes a picture of these people and sends it to me. I would just, or takes it and posts it and tags me. I would just die to see that. Like, I have never, well, I take that back. I have accidentally run into Jeff Lewis and the Chumps when I was at the BravoCon Gansevoort Hotel rooftop bar, and he had never said where he was going to be to have this like mini BravoCon. I assumed it was going to be some private place, and he had like closed it off because he wasn't saying it all. MJ had said on her podcast, hey, if you want to see anyone, go to the Gansevoort Hotel. You're going to see people. So we made a reservation last minute to go there. We are sitting there just having a little bit of charcuterie board. And in walks Jeff Lewis, Shane, Kian, Alyssa, Chef Stu. Oh my God, who else? Everybody. And then all the housewives started joining him. Oh my God. It was amazing, y'all. But I think that's the only time I've ever run into Jeff Lewis in the wild. Everything else has been planned, or I knew he was going to be somewhere and we were there. But I would just die to see a picture. So I'm going to have to scoot over to his Instagram where you can look at the hashtag part. And maybe somebody was there at Schwartz and Sandy's and saw them and took a picture and posted and hashtagged him. If they did, then I can take the picture from there. But I would just die. Y'all, if you ever see Jeff Lewis and the Chumps out in the wild, tag me or send me a picture. I would love to share it. JP says, Jeff hasn't had his polarizing guests on lately like Patty Stanger and Kelly and Rick. You're not wrong, but I really think Jeff sticks up for his friends that are polarizing because he likes them. And he's like, F you. I am not going to not have people on. But also, you have to realize he is well aware about ratings, even though he might act like, oh, I've got 12 listeners. I'm calling BS somebody. Absolutely. There's more than 12 of us. So there's way more of that. I think Kelly and Rick have a lot of fans, the Smashers. They just don't want to admit it publicly sometimes. Patty Stanger has a lot of fans. They just may not come out and admit it. So I think those types of shows do get good ratings. But regardless, I think he loves who he loves, and he is always going to support his friends and have them on the show. Maybe not as much, but I think he will. polarizing or not. Anyways, okay, speaking of polarizing, let's talk about the tan scene around the world. I noticed it instantly, but I'd also watched the Jeff Lewis video last. See, there's a fan right there. Hamilton. I like Patty. Thank you. Just remember, this is a safe place. It really is. And so also is the Jeff Lewis Obsessed Facebook group to have an opinion, whether we agree with it or not. Okay. We are all respectful chumpettes and we are often very opinionated, but just know I do want to hear your opinions. I do want to have my mind changed or be given more information if that. Love that Jeff read all the comments today. I think Jeff reads the comments underneath his, what I call his Instagram coffee picture often. If you watch the Jeff Lewis video, the first commercial break, he's often already looking at the Instagram comments and talking about them. So on yesterday's, he and Shane on one of the commercial breaks, they were talking about getting a tan and his schedule. So I knew he was getting a spray tan from that. So maybe that was in the back of my brain. But when I saw the picture, I was like, holy hell, you did not wash that off it fast enough. And he did not. So now we know that Zoila got into a car wreck yesterday. Shout out Zoila. She seems like she's going to be okay. But that delayed the time that he was going to get to go and wash off his spray tan. I do wonder if it stained his sheets too and if it drove him crazy. Whisper of Blue, Chaz replied to my comment yesterday. I love that. Chaz often reposts my posts. So Chaz is so nice. I've talked a lot about how I met him in January. He's so nice. But I love that he just goes with it. I mean, what are you going to do? If you look like an Oompa Loompa, you've got to just go with it. There's nothing, I've never had a spray tan. I was sun tanning today, but I've never had a spray tan. Wash, I do say wash weird. I know. Wash, I can't say wash. Wash off a suntan. Wash off a spray tan. Wash. I can't say wash. Wash. I don't know how to say it. Ready? IFAB. Anyways, so he just goes with it. It did remind me of the makeup he had at Halloween and all the crap he got for that, which I agree. Nothing, it doesn't, what do you call it when you get accused of something? It doesn't make me think he did it on purpose. It doesn't make me think he's trying to have blackface or anything. He got a spray tan. It's too dark. People, get over it. I saw lots of comments in the thing already, and they were already coming at him. Anyways, that Schwartz and Sandy's comment, though, made me want a lobster corn dog so freaking bad. So if anyone knows where I can get one in the Houston area, send me a DM. Oh, you're Bobby, Whisper of Blue. See, everyone has different Instagram names and YouTube names and all that. So shout out. Anyways, that is about all. Okay. Also, tell me in comments, even if you're watching a replay, I want to hear your comments. See your comments. The Jing Jang thing. Okay. They talk about this on the Jeff Lewis after show and like if he's going to get canceled for that. I mean, he's a white boy from the OC. If you know Jeff Lewis, he is always going to talk about a person of color, right? He so rarely interacts with a person of color or a diverse person. He is going to make a big deal about it. So the fact that this Chinese guy, I think he was Mandarin or spoke Mandarin, the fact that this Chinese guy who spoke little to no English, and Doug had to go there and meet them and then try to tell Shane and Doug what he was saying about the car wreck with Zoila. Of course, Jeff is going to say that in an accent. Of course, he's going to get shit for it. I mean, does he care? I really don't think so. Does Jeff Lewis care if he gets canceled? No, I don't think he does. I think he is like most celebrities. He understands exactly what he's doing. What do you call it? No publicity. All publicity is good publicity. Like, even if it's bad, don't you feel like? And I feel like Jeff knows exactly what he's doing. He did not get to where he's at without being, crazy. Hold on. Let me see what this just said. All my comments. By the way, all the live comments on YouTube do stay up. You just have to look under live on my Jeff Lewis channel, Jeff Lewis Obsessed. And then it says live chat and you can read them all. Oh, Darla says, I think I'm done. Shit. I want these things. I think I'm done with Rick and Kelly. I've been a fan and have supported Kelly, but lately she's irksome to me. Understand it. I've definitely seen that in some DMs to me. I can't read what that was going to say. Katie. Oh, you're terminally ill? Oh, okay. I'm sad about that. Anyways, he's a smart businessman. He's careful enough. I think he knows exactly what he's doing when he's being controversial. Yeah, Nana says Jeff is who he is and he doesn't apologize. And I don't think I want him to. I don't have to agree with everything he says, just like I don't agree with Kelly Dodd. I don't agree with a lot of people. I mean, if we all agree with everybody 100% of the time, that'd be kind of boring, in my opinion, right? Now, if you're an absolute down and out, complete a-hole, I mean, I don't want anything to do with you, but you know, I love the little bit of Jeff that's an a-hole and a lot of Jeff that is super nice, super loyal, super caring, and funny AF. I mean, he freaking cracks me up. Okay, so let's talk about the Jeff Lewis after show. Zach Noe Towers is, I guess, too big for his britches, and he was not able to be on there. But he's probably maybe getting ready. I don't even know if it's live. His after show, after hours on Channel 93, Sirius XM. That's tonight. But we got Monica Casey the whole hour. Oh my God. I love her. I've met her. She's so cute. She's so sexy. I sort of loved that because nobody ever wears shorts, right? On the Jeff Lewis show. I love that she and Zach Noe Towers wore shorts on the show today. Like it was super cute. And I also wonder if they chatted with each other. Like if that was a complete coincidence, because I feel like nobody ever does it. But I loved they got into flipping out, how she got started. So she was a big fan and they wanted to remodel and I do remember this from flipping out because her husband, George, had like a man house, what do they call it? Like a bachelor pad. And she wanted to change that over and make it more her own. Sounds like he's still rich, still making money from Criminal Minds. So I love that for Monica. I love that for their daughter, Dylan. I cannot tell. Tell me in comments, do you think Monica and George are still together or no? Are they completely divorced? Like no kind of, I can never tell. I love that she never badmouths him or says anything bad about him, but I can't tell if they're even together or not. Everyone can be agreeable while disagreeing and even learn to get along. I love that, Hamilton, for sure. She had just had a baby then. Yeah, so Brandy and Julie, I love this because I've said this before. I think they're such good interviewers, but I think they come at it from a different spin. I think they come at the after show as a fan like us, which I love, and Jeff comes at it as an interviewer, right? So they tend to ask the questions that I would be thinking of. So when they go into the first commercial break, even Brandy and Julie are like, hey, I don't even think we're going to ask for calls because we have more questions on flipping out that we need answered. So I sort of love that that they would do that because they're like, we don't want to get interrupted with calls. So she goes into all the details about what Jeff makes. So at the time, which I've never heard this, Jeff made 25% of whatever the budget was. So Jeff has always said with flipping out, he always puts high-end stuff in the homes, the flips that he does. So if you're making a percentage of that, so my interior designer charges an hourly fee. Okay, which I prefer. I don't want someone saying, "Oh, if you buy this hardware, I'm gonna get more of a percentage of it," because then of course they're wanting you to buy more expensive stuff, right? But now he makes 30%. That is a lot. I mean, no wonder everything Jeff spends is like no big deal. The boy is probably rolling over in $100 bills every night whenever he rolls over to kiss Chef Stu, right? Like insane. Jatanico, the dynamic between Brandy, Julie, and Monica was great. And I love that they reminded us that they sat together in like the second to the back row seats of the Adele concert in Las Vegas. Like, I think those kinds of things are super bonding. Like, they had shitty seats, but they still got drunk together. They still cried together during Adele. Clearly, they were with Jeff Lewis the whole weekend. There was like a small, Paige Davis was there. Who else was there? Chef Stu, of course. I'm forgetting. Wasn't there a few more? I feel like it was a big group. Clearly, they ran into Tom and Claudia, and that's where they got all that figured out. Oh, were only married for 4 years, JP. Monica and George were only married for 4 years. Okay, I didn't realize that. Anyways, so then they talk about how even Monica is over that OC. She thinks she's done with all Bravo shows. And I'm kind of not upset about that. Like the OC is getting really New Jersey to me. Like I told you before, it wasn't good until the reunion. Thank goodness for Scandival. Otherwise, Vanderpump Rules would just be kind of lame. But she's into all these freaky documentaries. I have not watched the Maya one. The one they were talking about the little boy, what's his name? It's not a new one. It's about how the social worker and all that system, the system failed this little boy whose teachers were calling and saying that he had marks on him and all this stuff. It's a little boy. It's a Hispanic name like Federico or something. Really sad documentary though. But that one. But I love the caller that called in and said, I'm almost like a social worker. Thought it was hilarious. Hamilton said Bravo needs to change their formula back to fun. I agree. I think even everyone is saying they don't like all these fights. And that's one thing that Monica was saying. These produced fights on all the Housewives shows, right? Wow. Charlotte said, this is the first year I haven't watched New Jersey or OC. Yeah. I've only given up on Potomac and Atlanta. I haven't given up on any others yet. I've watched all the others from day one, never missed. But yeah, it's getting kind of crazy. And just like they're not even friends anymore in real life. And I want to know that they're friends. You know what I mean? That's why I'm kind of nervous about the new New York. Do they know each other? Did they hang out? Are they going to get along? Like you want that history. You want to, I love that, was it Sonia? Or no, maybe Ramona and Dorinda's kids went to the same private school, like pre-K. Like even if they weren't best friends, I want to know that they have a history because that's what's exciting to me is to talk about maybe a vacation they went on together. You know what I mean? Maria says, I'm having a hard time getting through Atlanta. I've heard that from a lot of people. They're giving up on Atlanta. Anyways, what else? Let me know. I am seeing a little bit of people are DMing me saying that it is really hard to squeeze in an hour of Jeff Lewis Live every day and then an hour of the Jeff Lewis After Show. Then clearly my recap that I've been doing for a year weekdays is 30 minutes-ish. It's a lot. And all the other extra content, the Flipping Out Fridays, the Chump Happy Hour, it's making me really stingy with my time. Like clearly the Jeff Lewis stuff is going to win out because it's so freaking good. I literally, it's hard to squeeze in that extra hour, but it's really good. So I love it. There's been quite a few Scandival's. They just haven't been caught. Ooh, Finn. Oh yeah. Oh, Windy City Gal, you could be an hour long. I'd love it. Oh my God, I love that. I did, just so y'all know, I think, thank you, Michelle. I'm glad we have each other. I don't know about y'all, but I've said it forever. The reason I started this fan account on social media is because I really felt like none of my friends knew Jeff Lewis Live. They barely knew him of Flipping Out. They're like, oh yeah, I remember that guy. It was kind of crazy. And I'm like, no, Jeff Lewis Live is a separate ball game. Like all the chumps, all the people in his life, the day-to-day, like if you're obsessed like all of us are, we want to chat about it. So I'm so glad we found our community for sure. You listened to the Jeff Lewis recap, but didn't really enjoy it. Sticking with Jeff Lewis Live. If these, I wish these comments would stay up. They do go up as a replay, but I'll have to read them then. And Jeff Lewis obsessed. Thank you, Michelle F. What else we want to talk about? Definitely we'll prioritize Jeff Lewis and of course you, Sarah. I wish I was making time to listen to the 789 channel for all these archive shows, but I'm just not. I mean, I think once they have their own channel and anytime I'm in the car, it'll come up. But right now when I get in my car, I have to plug in my phone, which is fine on the Bluetooth, but my phone is like dipping in and out for some reason. I've heard other people are having this issue too. So technology-wise, it'll be so much easier when he's just on whatever channel. If it's 789, I will just keep my car on that, and then it will be on the Sirius satellite instead of me relying on this internet thing, I guess, with my phone because it keeps dipping in and out and it really drives me nuts. If I'm at home, great. I just listen on my phone. Yeah, Michelle, it's happening to you too. Other people have DM'd me too. So once we get over that, so everyone listen, buy their advertisers, whatever we have to do to get him more money, because I think I would love it if he was just on the Sirius XM channel, just like Howard Stern is and Andy Cohen. Love your comments, by the way. I can't handle Julie Goldman every day. Maybe once a week. She's a lot for me, JP says. I've made it clear. Brandy and Julie were never really my favorites as far as being on once a week. A lot of y'all are big fans. But I have to admit, I do love the after show. I really do. They're giving us so much of the questions that I would ask as a fan that I'm really loving it. And I'm sort of loving that it's really not a recap because hopefully if we're listening to Jeff Lewis after show, we did listen to Jeff Lewis live and we don't want to rehash what it was about exactly. We want to really talk about it. So anyways, okay, the last thing they talked about is the Ubers, unsafe as a woman. I kind of agree. Luckily, I'm not much of a drinker, so I'm often the designated driver, and I live in the burbs, so I'm way too cheap to pay an Uber to take me into whatever, and I don't really need it. But if I were a single woman, I totally get what they were saying. It would make me so nervous to have an Uber or a Lyft or some kind of stranger driving service drop me off at my home at like 1 or 2 in the morning and be like, oh, now I know where this lady lives. So I do totally understand what they were saying about that. Tomorrow is Leah Black and Doug Buden. I cannot wait. I love them on together. Also on the Chump Happy Hour Friday night at 5 Pacific will be an hour of Megan and Doug together. So make sure to call in, listen, give them all the love. I cannot wait. Me too. Who just said that? JP, I love that Alyssa is back with Jeff this week. Even though he started off the show saying he's counting down, the witch is gone. I love when she chimes in. I also love when she chimes in. Hamilton loves Leah. I also love when she's chiming in more on the Jeff Lewis after show. And like today, she was reminding us basically, she was telling Jeff, quit doing this accent of Jing Jang because you can't, because you're a white man. You can't do it. So anyways, loved it. Hamilton says, loves the happy hour. Me too. And I think I'll be able to listen live tomorrow. I think I'll be home. I can't remember. Anyways, well, that is about it. If you joined in late, just know the replay goes up instantly on my Jeff Lewis channel, on YouTube channel, Jeff Lewis Obsessed. You can comment. Please subscribe. Please like it. It gives me all the engagement. It really helps me out. I really appreciate it. Same with Instagram. It goes up as a reel, and it also, there's a series thing that's you can pick on somehow and see all the recaps that I've put into this new series. That's free. It's nothing that costs money. Anyway, so please make sure to follow me on all my social media. Everything is under Jeff Lewis Obsessed. I'm on TikTok. There's a Facebook group and obviously Instagram and YouTube. So if you just joined, make sure to go back and you can watch the replay. Okay. Bye, y'all. That was a weird ending. It was like, anyways, I think I'm hot from the sun. Bye, y'all.